All right, guys, welcome back to the Shift Points podcast here, where we talk about everything Southeast Gassers, and we do our race recaps here with Randy Edmonds. Randy, how's it going?
Good.
We were just talking about how it feels like forever since we did this.
It has been a while.
Yeah, I feel so rusty, like just completely, just even setting the equipment up.
Yeah, but we ran about one race a month, so it's been a couple months.
Yeah, every bit of it. So the Southeast Gassers, they're coming off of the one-way nationals at London, Kentucky, and the G-Force nationals at Mooresville Dragway. So you guys got a little wet up in London, from what I understand.
We did. Because of the heat in Union, we had decided to move the start time to 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Which it was right around 1 o'clock, our normal start time. It was raining.
Oh, really?
And then we had a couple little showers. They got the track straightened out and good to go. By 4, we started right on 4 o'clock, motioned the cars out of the staging lanes right on 4 o'clock. We got through 2 rounds qualifying, got into the first round, got all the way to A-Gas, 6 cars to go in A-Gas. 3 more passes down the track, and we'd have had the first round done. Had to back them out. It happened to be Greg Stelz and Marlon Short. I think, if I'm correct, it was the 3rd time this year that Greg's been backed off of the line because of rain.
Man, that's rough.
They got on the track. Craig hollered at me and said, 5 more minutes, we'll be ready to go. And everybody had their cars wiped down and everything, ready to go. And it just opened up.
Man.
I mean, it didn't rain enough to really lose the track.
Right.
You know, it just sprinkled, a heavy sprinkle, I guess you'd say. But then it just poured for like 5 minutes. And we lost the track.
Right.
And then, you know, by the time that they were getting close, the sun had gone down.
That's just...
So when the sun, I kept watching the sun, and it went behind the mountain over there, and I was concerned then, and then they worked hard on the track, the shutdown area was the problem.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah, the shutdown area is, and it's hard to dry at any track. You know, I mean, it's a porous, gritty surface, you know, and it just holds the water. And so we tried a lot of different things. We actually at one time had golf carts out there running around in the shutdown area,
just trying to get some heat into it or something.
And it worked somewhat, you know. And so Craig said, we're ready to go. They sprayed the track, laid it to it, and there was some back and forth on whether we should go or not. And so we went ahead and decided we would send 2 cars down. We sent Greg and Marlon Short down, and you know, it's hard to say. You know, the dew had came in. Also, you know, you could see it in the lights. And but in talking with Quayne and everything after the fact here, you know, that, you know, he said, you know, you really probably needed to send those 2 cars just to see, you know. And they raced. It was a pedal fest down through there. You know, my first thought, you know, was when they left the line and they were spinning and all over the track, that, you know, that we would probably just rerun that one. But they raced. It was a race.
Right.
You know, I mean, they went for it. So
yeah, when them guys strap them helmets on, they forget. They forget sometimes.
But you know, I mean, I had guys telling me, "Oh, let's go for it," you know. And then I had wives saying, "No, no, let them go," you know, and stuff. But you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword there, you know, and you know, I mean, Quayne has told me this in the past too, you know. I mean, in working for Quayne for 4 years before this year, you know, Quayne's always said you've always got those after the fact opinion experts.
Yeah. Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, you know, and so there was a lot of stuff being said, just back and forth and stuff. But you know, I mean, we really needed to. If the cars had went down straight, you know, everything would have been good. We would have got some heat in the track.
Right.
And of course, Craig kept saying, let's send some slow cars. Well, we don't really have any slow cars anymore.
No, you guys do not.
And I mean, even the super stock cars are fast now, and they're on a little bitty tire. I mean, they're on the edge anyway. So there's no way I would have sent super stock cars down through there. And we did send a couple of H-gas cars down, and they actually spun also. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we sent them. I think that we probably had to send those 2 cars down to just see where we were at. And so
don't know until you know.
And after that, we decided, that we're just we'll finish it up at Mooresville the next race. And so what we did there was we just moved everything over. We had One Way Technologies as sponsors at London, and also we had G-Force as a consolation sponsor. So it kind of worked out on that because G-Force was their sponsor at Mooresville. So on Friday night, what we did was the 4 cars that was left, we took and we practiced for an hour and a half, and then we ran those 4 cars down, and then that put us into the quarterfinals. And we went ahead and ran the quarterfinals and ran the consolation. We finished up the consolation for London there.
Gotcha.
Which Alan Lovelady won Super Stock, Ernie Smith won C-Gas, Bill Revels won B-Gas, and Alan Pittman won A-Gas. And that was sponsored by G-Force. And that was all completed on Friday night. And the plan was, that we would just go ahead and run those quarterfinals. We'd go into the semis and first round qualifying on Saturday, and the finals would be first round qualifying on Saturday. And so we cut it off there. My thought was, everyone would probably want to test some more and everything. But hardly, there was a few came down and tested after that, but not many at all. I mean, if I had thought that no one was going to test, we would probably just finished it on Friday night.
Gotcha.
But no one came back down to test, so I mean, it was really a lot of dead time there, and we just called it. So, but and then we went into the first round of qualifying on Saturday, and what some don't understand is you have to, in the tower, they've got a program for qualifying, a program for eliminations.
Right.
So they were having to switch back and forth in the tower for that. And so...
what is the difference there? I might have caught you off guard.
Well, no, really, it is, and I've thought about it also, a red light doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Understood.
A red light doesn't matter in qualifying.
Okay.
And it so I mean, and there's probably more to it than that also, but that's one thing I know. So we ran them first in qualifying on Saturday to finish the London race, and there was a little controversy back and forth. I heard through the grapevine, nobody really said anything to me, but I think they beat up my staging lane guy pretty bad about why are we running on a green track. But I mean, and that's why we did it. We did it for the tower. We did it for the ladies working in the tower. But just to talk a little bit about that, there was some concern about the track not being good, but Superstock ran 0.2 faster in the heat of the day at Mooresville than they did qualifying at London.
Wow.
And C-Gas was 200ths faster, B-Gas was 300ths faster, and A-Gas was 800ths faster.
800ths faster.
And
I think the track was all right.
And the air was worse down there. I mean,
really?
I don't really know what the numbers were, but the air was worse, and I'm not sure about the elevation, but it's not as much difference as you would think from Mooresville to London.
I would have thought it was. I would have thought it was
pretty
close.
I think maybe even higher.
Okay.
So but anyway, I mean, worse air. The air, it was humid, bad humid down there, and
because that was that weekend. It was really hot.
Yeah. And A-Gas, Leslie run 300ths off the record.
Man.
So, you know, I mean, the track wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I had people complaining about the track, how bad it was, and I had people telling me, man, this track's great.
Yeah.
Love it. You know, so, you know, you're going to have that anywhere you go.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to please everybody. Yeah.
You know, some people's going to hit it and love it, and some people's going to miss it and hate it.
Exactly.
You know, so, but all the number one qualifiers at London won. So
it's funny how that works out sometimes. Because I feel like more often than not in this series, it don't go that way. You know,
no, there's a lot of times.
There's a lot of times there's just some mix-ups. You know.
But, yeah, Jerry Dean, number one qualifier again, and won the race. He's won every race, every round this year.
Be pretty good this year.
Yeah, I think he's going to do all right. And Kiefer second.
Yep, exactly.
Kiefer bridesmaid again.
Yeah.
So, I don't guess he's really. He has won before. He's not really just the bridesmaid out there that's never been married.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But it you know, and they're gaining on it. You know, the Kiefer is looking good, and the car's working great.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, you know, Jerry and Karen, that car's, you know, it blows the tires off, and they work on it, and then they go down the track.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so. And then SEGA, Todd Oden, number one qualifier, winner. One-way technology race, one technology engine, SEGA winner. You know, I mean, and so it's. And then Jaron Purdue, he bought Stud Muffin.
Mm-hmm.
Runner-up. Car running really well, picking up. He's picked up every race. He has become a threat to, you know, I mean, what we've saw in SEGA the last couple of years, you know, has been Tim, Todd, Josh, you know, and then before that it was Larry Floyd and Stud Muffin,
right,
and Leslie and Stud Muffin the year before that. So. Stud Muffin's there. It just hadn't, you know, I mean, it just, the driving and everything just hadn't been consistent enough for it to be there. So, Jaron's got some attention now, you know, they're watching him, they're thinking about him for sure, you know, he's you know, so,
it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot of pressure crawling in a car that has been successful. You know what I mean? Like, because like you said, you've got to, the car is there, you know, you've got to make sure all your stuff's in line because you know that car can do it. So I feel like there might be even more pressure than just building a new car sometimes.
And the car is faster than it's ever been. You know, I mean, even in the past, you know, few years when it's won championships, you know, Leslie won a championship in it, Larry Floyd won a championship in it. And so, but the car's faster now than it ever has been. It's been
the whole playing field's just come up. Yep.
Yes, and it's been faster than the record. Just wasn't able to back it up.
Gotcha.
So Jaron's creeping up, getting closer to that record in some of his passes. You know, he wasn't far off at this race, but you know, he's far out enough that he's not a points contender with 3 races to go, you know, so, but it's still pretty much between Tim and Todd on that. And, but I think, I don't have the ladder with me, but it's Jaron and Tim ran, and it was very, very close.
Okay.
I mean, I think they ran almost the same time.
Really?
Yeah. So, to put Jaron into the finals. So, but then going into B-Gas, Kevin Burt, which has knocked on the door of winning for quite some time now. Number one qualifier, one-way heads. I don't think Jeff Jones does the engine on that. I don't think he does the assembly, but there's his head's on it and probably some knowledge, some, you know, just letting them know what they need to do. But the car's been a previous record holder. The car's been right there, just never was able to pull it off. So Kevin gets his first win. He and Gavin, his grandson, they work hard. They show up. Everybody knows that they're the potential winner.
Right.
You know. So Daniel Haynes was runner-up. Daniel, points leader. Kevin broke a drive shaft on a by run. We didn't know exactly what happened. Pushed him back off the line. They pulled him back to the pits, and he had run a drive shaft. And they found a drive shaft. Someone had a drive shaft that would work in the pits. He bought it from them, put it in the car, and I got to give hats off to Daniel Haynes. Daniel, they had brought them up. They were ready to run for the final. And Daniel said, "No, I'm waiting on Kevin." Kevin hadn't got there yet. They were finishing button up the car,
So he put the hold on.
That's just the type of things that you see in Southeast Gassers.
Yeah, it seems like every race too.
And Daniel and his team, they're just great people. And he was not going to, he wanted to wait on him.
Yeah, he wanted to.
And I was ready to bring people around him. We were going to do whatever to make that happen. And we saw Kevin come across the top of the hill. So,
oh man, they were so good.
Yeah. And then I got to give just a shout out to Kelvin Cannon in Loose Cannon. Kelvin's been with us for many, many years. Has a lot to do with the AFX Dixie Twister car that Rocky drives. Hard working bunch there, and then Kelvin's car has came around. They've been sneaking up on it, and just all of a sudden, you notice that Kelvin's making good, straight, hard passes. The car's looking great. It's kind of like, what we saw out of Diana. Diana and Seagas. All of a sudden you start. We always knew Diana was a hard worker and never give up and everything, and she's there all of a sudden, Well, now we're seeing that in B-Gas and Kelvin.
Yeah, the work starts clicking. You start seeing progress.
Yeah, he's leaving the line hard. The car's working good. So it's really good to see Kelvin. I just had to mention that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It is. Then we go into A-Gas. Leslie, number one qualifier, ran 300ths off of the record in this pass to win that, which was also his qualifying for Mooresville, which put him number one qualifier. And then he ended up running Ben Christopher runner-up. Ben always a threat, which, most every car in A-Gas is a possible winner.
For sure. Yeah, we've talked about this before. Yeah. Because that would be Leslie's London win is the first repeat winner this year, right?
I hadn't thought about it. I guess it is.
I think there was 5 different winners leading up to this, and then I think Leslie's the first repeat.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and then he goes and repeats again. Well, I'm getting ahead a little bit,
but that's right.
Yeah, I thought so. Right. So that shows how competitive that class is. It really is amazing. Yeah.
It is. And I've already mentioned the consolation race, and we always want to thank Roby Merrick at G-Force. Roby is one of a kind. One of a kind. Roby actually donated a transmission this weekend to Sale to put that money into the points fund.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And just out of the blue, he hit me on Thursday and said, "Hey, man, I want to do something." And we talked a little bit about it, and then we talked more Friday, and then we did it on Saturday, and it sold in a couple hours. Wow,
that's awesome. That's really great.
So we've got the money for that, and there's some other things going into the championship fund. The championship fund's going to be larger than it's ever been. So we don't really want to throw numbers out there or anything right now because of you never know what might happen.
Of course.
So we don't want to promise something that we couldn't, but this is definite money that's going in there.
Right.
It's there.
It's
already,
there. Yeah.
And we have other monies that are there also too, and then we've got the Mickey Thompson tires that goes to the champions and things like that that's going in there too. XS Batteries is stepping up and putting some stuff in there also. So there's going to be some dollars, some coupons, some tires. So it's going to be good.
That's going to be really good. Yeah.
It's going to be good, and we're looking at growing that. We've got a few months to go on that, so it's going to be really good. But going into Mooresville, which, as we've already talked about, the qualifying was the semifinals and the finals of the last race, which Jerry Dean, number one qualifier.
Like I said, do you think he's going to be any good this year?
I think that there was a different engine combination this past weekend.
Okay.
When I first heard it fire up, I thought that sounds different, and then come find out, I found out later that it was something different. Someone said a backup engine, and if it's a backup engine, it sounds really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one to have, apparently.
Yeah. But anyway, he Jerry Karen again. They do really well. G-Force, like I say, was the sponsor of this whole race. J&L Pipe was associate sponsor on it. So Jimmy Martin, that races with us, got an absolutely beautiful 55 Chevy that he races with us. And so he stepped up and helped out on that. So that really helped out because there was a little more cost because of having to do Friday night stuff to finish London. We had the cost of London at London, but then we had more cost for London at Mooresville.
Right.
So that really helped out on that, and we thank them for that. But we didn't foresee that in the beginning.
Of course, yeah.
So. But Mike Stacy's Classics in Mooresville stepped up and did the consolation race, and he also he did all kinds of stuff for us. He put up little signs all around Mooresville. He printed up flyers and put them out. He had a car show there, and so Mike's a great guy. I met him this weekend. I had heard about him and stuff, but great guy. He really helps us out, and he's glad that we were coming to Mooresville.
Yeah, that's cool. When you see businesses in the area that really want to jump in and help promote it, that just makes it better for everybody. You know,
the Hot Rod Barn in Concord also they put out a lot of information on about us being there and stuff. Dino is the guy's name up there, and so it's. They did a lot for us also as far as promoting us and everything and stuff. So,
did you have a pretty good car count at Mooresville? I feel like it's probably in a pretty central location.
Yeah, we ended up with 65 or 67, something like that. I think one or two might have fell out.
Gotcha.
So we were somewhere in that area.
Understood.
Which is, we averaged 70 cars a race last year, and we're probably 2 or 3 less than that this year so far.
So
so attendance is to the races is just a little under where it was last year. You know, I mean, and you always want it to be better. Of
course.
But
you had probably the hottest summer in a long, long time, and then you had a rain out as well.
Had a lot of rain, and we've had. We don't want to get political, but things are not the best in the world right now.
It's hard to get places sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's expensive. So, everything is.
But that's some of it.
Yeah.
That's some of it. And
on both crowd and car count, I'm sure.
Yeah. And welcome Jerry Birch and the Freebird bunch back. They were back. Jerry's had shoulder surgery. He's a long-time participant with Southeast Gassers, and he and Joey showed back up this weekend. And it's really good to see them there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, Kiefer, number 2 again at Mooresville. Same day, so, like I say, the car is working great, I mean, they're just a little off from getting where Jerry's at.
Right.
And we get a lot of questions about, I mean, what are you going to do about Jerry? I mean, Jerry's running the same stuff that any other small block Chevy could run.
Right.
So if we do something to him, we're hurting every other small block Chevy. Of
course, yeah.
So a lot of hard work is what's put them there. I mean, they test every week. They dyno. They do all kinds of stuff.
Really?
I mean, they've got the availability of a dyno and an engine shop and close tracks and things like that. So, I mean, it's hard to beat hard work. And knowledge.
Right.
And knowledge,
absolutely. It's not luck.
No.
you don't win that many races on luck.
And that's going back to many, many, many years of that, with Dennis Mitchell and everything and stuff, Great people, just love Jerry and Karen. They glad to have them.
Right.
Glad to have them.
Of course.
Then going into SEGA, we talked about Jaron Purdue. Jaron got his first win.
That's awesome.
Same day.
Yeah.
A win and a runner-up. That was his first runner-up also.
Right.
So he was number 3 qualifier.
Day. Like, what a day that would be to never had it and then all of a sudden, boom, runner-up and win. Like, you got to be on cloud 9.
Yeah. Run his best times ever. So, he had a really good day. And he's going to be tough in that car, I mean, Jaron's the type that, you don't have to try to just getting to know Jaron a little bit. He's a live wire.
Right.
I mean, he's just wide open, He's one that you need to back down. You don't need to try to push him to make him go, I mean,
Right.
he's one that, whoa, slow down,
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, just talking to him,
right.
I mean, he's just a live wire, I mean, he's vibrating all the time.
Right.
Good guy. He and his dad, they come to all the races. They had the Adams County Outlaw 50 Chevy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that used to be the Mighty Lady.
Okay.
That Quayne had, at one time, and the Buff Boys had it, and someone else had that car before Quayne. I think it's somebody at Ohio had that car. I think it went back to Ohio.
Gotcha.
When they got it, but I'm not sure about that. I may be wrong. But Todd Oden, runner up. Todd Oden, the points leader, and he was number 1 qualifier. But Jaron has got Todd and Tim's attention right now. I'm sure. I'm sure they're looking. They're
over
watching,
the shoulder a little bit.
We gotta.
Like I said, you do that in one day, you runner up and then win. You probably got people watching.
Yeah, sure enough. And so going into B-Gas, Ted McKee, last year's champion, was number 3 qualifier. It came down into the finals with him and Daniel. Daniel's number 1 qualifier for the Mooresville race. And so Daniel in the semifinals leaked some oil. And got some oil on the track, got some oil under his tires, crossed, and in a by run.
Gotcha.
And went down. He started in the right lane, ended in the left lane. And so instead of risking getting oil in the track down again, or maybe risking him wrecking or something,
right.
or somebody else getting into the oil or whatever, he decided just not to come back down.
Oh, really? Okay.
So Ted had a bye run in the finals.
Okay.
But that's just the type of person Daniel Haynes is.
Right. I don't want to cause any issues for anybody else.
Yeah, he and Mary Beth and the kids, they're a big part of what we do.
Yeah.
Mary
absolutely.
Mary Beth backs up numerous cars.
Numerous cars. There's so many pictures of her out there backing up cars every time you guys race.
She works hard, runs up and down the track. She's another one of those live wires.
Yeah, that's fair. Put that energy out there.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. And then their son Nick, he runs the ladder sheets for us.
Right.
He's doing a great job at that. He's gotten better and better and better, knowing what to do and when to do it and everything. Working with Angela and Bonnie in the tower, and he does a really good job at it now. And so glad to have the Haynes family. Then going into A-Gas, Leslie, of course, number 1 qualifier, and wins the race.
Yep.
2 in the same day.
That's also a pretty good confidence boost, I imagine.
And just like I say, he was, out here in the heat, and what some said was a bad track, runs 300ths off the record. So it was a good day for them. Probably a good points day. I haven't even looked at tried to figure out how the points were. I've been very, very busy this week. I actually worked at the plant 3 days this week, but I've been on the phone a lot with potential sponsors, potential tracks to go to, and things of that nature, talking to a lot of different people. We've got tracks reaching out to us just almost weekly now, wanting us to come there. Quayne sent me the list this week, and I can't remember how many was on it, but I know at one time there was like 30 people on the list.
Wow.
30 tracks on the list. And we've kind of pinned down one new track that we may be going to. I don't want to, put anything out yet, but we've kind of pinned down one new track that we may be going to. I thought we had something on another one, but that looks like it might have fell through.
Is there a potential for the season to expand for you guys?
We may be going to back to 11 races like we were a couple years ago.
Right, okay.
And that's what we were for years, was
right.
11 races. And I think COVID may have had something to do with dropping to 10. But we may be going back to 11 races just to try to accommodate, getting to different areas.
Yeah, right.
I know we get a lot of requests for, going further south, down into Florida or somewhere that way, and further west.
Of course.
We've actually, and I actually talked to someone this weekend that's really wanting us in the Midwest, but that's a long ways.
Long way.
It's a long ways, but maybe even an exhibition or something out that way or something.
That could be interesting, yeah.
For some of them that would want to make that trek
right,
out there and
right.
stuff,
Yeah, so it don't penalize the guys who can't drive that far.
And it wouldn't be a points race at this point. They even mentioned putting up some money, travel monies, to get people there
right.
and things. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I hate to be already thinking about the schedule for next year, but man, there's 3 races left.
Yeah, we should have been thinking about it more a month ago,
right,
or a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
and I was, but it's a whole lot more to it than you think, because you got to think about holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter.
Yep.
Then when
just
you
be
get
like NASCAR and just never break, just race year round.
Yeah.
Just
then you
never
get
stop.
Then you get into, you don't want to go somewhere, you don't want to go to Mooresville if NHRA is at ZMAX.
Yeah, but it's going to kill your crowd. Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to go to Mooresville if it's auto fair weekend.
Exactly.
Just little things like that you don't think about. Then you get into this time of year and you get into college football.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You don't want to go to Tennessee when you got a Volunteers game.
Right. Well, just
in town.
Which I know most people probably have their toter homes and stuff, but even like hotels and things like that for fans, if they were coming in, man, that would be really makes it hard.
You don't want to go to Alabama.
No.
On a football Saturday.
No, definitely not.
So there's a lot of different things to look at, and speaking with Rocky and stuff, and we've really not got into it. We just kind of talked about it. Actually, on the way over here, I was talking to Leslie some, and so he and Rocky and I are jump into this head first, in the next couple of weeks, trying to get some of this stuff figured out.
Get it pinned down a little
bit. We've got to, and Rocky's been down this road before. Leslie and I haven't.
Oh, okay,
so,
gotcha. Well, that's fair.
Yeah, and. So we'll see where we go. We'll see how it all works out and everything. Would like to maybe take a break in the middle of the summer, and maybe skip a month or skip a few more weeks than we normally do right in the middle of summer. Maybe July, that area or something. And give people time to catch up. Half season
gives them maintenance time and stuff like that.
And, go on vacation, family stuff, and things like that.
People forget about that, like especially fans. I feel like a lot. You don't think about like how much effort and time these guys are putting in behind the scenes. It's not just show up on Friday and run the car. There's so much that goes into it, and they've got families and lives too.
Exactly. Jobs.
Yeah. Jobs. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big deal. But like I say, Leslie doubled up on Saturday down there. Todd Blackwell was number 2, and he was a number 5 qualifier. Todd's ran really well this weekend. He was the winner at Union, and so that's he was the 18 champion in BGS, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he and his dad both been running really well. His dad in B gas and him in A gas, So he's right there. I'm not sure. Like I say, I didn't even think about looking back at the points. I've been so busy, and I did take a couple of days off for kind of me and go over to the PDRA yesterday and Friday in Bristol, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun over there. Saw a lot of people. Saw some of our people over there, and saw some of our photographers and stuff over there. Redline was there. Alan Ogg was there. Saw those guys over there, and of course Tommy Mooney was there, and Scotty Cannon, and Chase Howard was there with Scotty, and I mean it was a fun weekend.
I'm sure
it was.
Yeah, I hate that we didn't get to go to that.
Yeah, but it's a different deal than what we do, for sure. I mean, this is big money stuff over there.
Yeah.
I mean. We've heard some stuff about haulers lately with Southeast Gassers. We don't have big haulers.
No, not good. No, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, and
I'd imagine there's guys over there that probably have more in their hauler than maybe some guys in their car hauler and everything. Just,
no doubt.
It's just
no
because
doubt.
it's so crazy. I mean, the PDRA
it's
stuff
amazing.
and those big national,
it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and I probably, just to be honest, I walked around and looked at haulers more than I did cars. Just
in amazement.
Yeah, because I want one.
Right.
I want a bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying haulers. I'm talking about toter homes or big motor homes or stuff, Super Cs, stuff, and that, and I'd like to step up.
Yeah. Right.
But there's some nice stuff.
Yeah, I imagine there were some steps that were pretty big over there.
Oh my! I mean, it's amazing. I mean, there was some stuff over there that I'm sure they're probably $700,000-800,000 for just the puller.
That's
the ones pulling the $200,000 stacker back there.
Man, it's when you put numbers to it, sometimes it just blows your mind.
They had a new one sitting out front, and actually ran into Jim Hare over there, and we were over there talking, and there was a salesman there, and they had I'm not sure what brand it was or anything. It was a Freightliner cab. Had a 605 Cummins in it and a stacker behind it, and it had a sticker on the door there. It was $649, and I said, "Does that come with the trailer?" And he said, "No."
Oh gosh!
But we could make that happen too.
Right? Oh yeah, of course, yeah. let's make a deal.
I mean, it was a nice unit and everything and stuff. Though, but there were some that was much more than it on back.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we were walking through there, and there was one there that I'm sure it was 800 to $1 million.
Gosh.
Big international cab and stuff, and stuff. I mean, there was some nice stuff there.
Yeah.
But one of the things that really amazed me is with PDRA and all the dollars that they have, they're bringing their own track crew with them and all their equipment.
That blows me away.
I mean, big tractors, scrapers, everything.
Yeah. You think about just the logistics of getting that around, just getting all that stuff contained.
Yeah, we go in and I put up, I say me, Rocky, and whoever else helps, I mean, it's us, put up banners, and I think we put up 26, 28 banners.
Mm-hmm.
I counted, just sitting there counting banners that PDRA had put up, and they put 67 up one side.
This is a good insight into a race director's mind when he goes to a different event. He's up here counting banners
and writing down who they are.
Right. Yeah, you got any phone numbers?
But it was good. It was good to go over and see that. And it's like I say, it's a totally different world than what we got. You look inside those cars and you see, just a whole bank of electronics.
Yeah. I mean, they're practically spaceships. I mean, those things they're that next level.
Yeah. But it was good to be over there and see and talk with Scotty Cannon and stuff. And they're they're more of probably a low budget team,
comparatively,
in this, and they made it to the semifinals.
It's awesome.
But that goes back to, like we were talking about, Jerry Dean and stuff. There's so much knowledge with Scotty,
it's hard to beat
that he knows what to do without all the big dollars
right.
and everything and stuff. So, got some good news over there this weekend that one of the PDRA guys is going to be at Mississippi and Shady Side driving an A-gas car.
Awesome, cool.
Driving an A-gas car, and the car's been there, and it's a very good car.
Good. Cool.
So it's not currently, it hadn't been there this year, but I mean it's a top-notch car.
Yeah, it's got potential.
I don't want to reveal too much because he didn't say I could. But,
right. Yeah, understood.
But it's a good deal. I mean, it's good to know that he's looking at us and wanting to come race with us. And it's kind of I feel
like I see that probably, and I don't know, maybe because I'm more keyed up to it because of what we're doing here and things like that. But like, it just seems like this year I've seen you guys in more places, just out of the blue, I would say, just like scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and people putting up stuff, and you go, hey, they're tapped into Southeast Gassers, like they're aware of it, they know what's going on with it. This year, it just seems to have really ramped up.
Where I guess I got my first eye-opening of that was at PRI.
Yeah.
And we had the Gasser shirts on and stuff, and people would just come up and start talking and said, hey, man, we love your stuff, And then while we were there, Matt Hagan reached out and was talking to us, and
Clay
Leah
Milligan.
Pruitt, and Clay. Clay and Larry Cummings are really good friends, so that was part of that right there. But Clay watches us and everything, and Leah Pruitt said they watch us, and Matt Hagan and his publicist was there watching us. That said they watch a lot of our stuff and everything. And I just saw something today where Frankenstein.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris was with
Chip Foose and Chris Jacobs, and I wasn't sure the lady's name. I'm not sure her, but he was. We talked last night.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. We talked for a little while. I'll give him a shout out. He has a fuse panel in his. He has a Challenger, like a new body style Challenger fuse panel, and Chip did a sketch on it for him right there. Sketched out the outline of the car, and then the wheels. He has Foose wheels on that car, and he drew the wheels in and everything, and he had it in the car, and he'd sent me a picture of it. It was really neat. Yeah, it was cool. But sorry, that's good.
That's good stuff.
But anyway, I did see the picture. He said that was the first thing he sent me when we started talking. He was like, "Check this out." Yeah, I was like, "Dude, that is really cool."
Well, that is, and he does a good job for us too.
Oh man, he makes some neat videos too.
He does a great job. Yeah. He's really been good for us.
Down to earth, awesome guy.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, I need to talk about him more, to be honest, because he does. Me and him talk pretty often about everything, and he's been going to the races, and he eats it up.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good. And then speaking of Chip Foose, he and Greg Stels are friends.
Makes sense.
So he understands. He knows a little bit.
He's aware of it too.
About Southeast Gassers, I will just give a shout out to Greg and Leah. From what I found out on the way out here, they're doing a power tube show.
Good for them.
So Greg's Speed Shop going to be on power tube also.
Cool.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got an absolutely beautiful place up there. I mean, I haven't been there, but they've got. So that's really good stuff. It all comes together.
One more place for it to get that out there.
So. Yeah, that's really good.
To kind of circle back just a little. You're talking about Clay Milliken and him. I would love to see him at one of these races, like racing at one of y'all's races. I know you guys would as well, but I just think like his energy and the way he does stuff. And he's got a very, very good YouTube channel as well that he does stuff, and with PowerTube as well, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
And his energy there would be really cool.
It would.
Yeah.
And I guess I can say this, talking with Alan Pittman, Alan Pro Mod champion, and he's out here racing with us. He and Mike Sword, and Alan, I've got to know Alan a little bit. Super guy. Mike's a great guy. But in talking with Alan, he said, this is humbling.
I'm sure.
This is humbling, But we were also talking just the other day, about the quality of drivers that we have in this, you know, that can get a car out of shape and not think anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, and
well, it goes back to what you're talking about at London. I mean, you're sitting there, you got a question mark over the track, and these guys are like, let's go. You know, we'll strap in, we'll try it. You know, I mean, you have a certain confidence in your ability to do that. That's not just, you know, that's not blind. That's you're confident you can get down there.
And A-Gas is on the edge anyway.
All the time.
I mean, and looking at those passes at London, which, I mean, you know, they were all over the track, you know, but they were also all over the track at Gulfport last year too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember the video where Greg and Leslie's like this?
Yes, I very much remember it.
Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel was out of shape bad down there, but we see that with Gabriel all the time. You know, I mean, Gabriel will drive one from wall to wall and never hit anything.
Right.
You know, I mean, Gabriel's just one of the best out there as far
Absolutely.
as that goes. You know, I mean, you just and Gabriel will be out of shape, and you think you've got him beat, and he'll pull back by you. You know, I mean, that's just that's
hurts
Gabe.
you, don't it? Yeah, right.
You know,
That would hurt your feelings bad.
Yeah, I mean. And well, he's been all over the track. He's drove way more than an eighth of a mile.
Right.
You know, so, but you know, I mean, we have some quality drivers, but and I know some of you that watch this probably don't know who we're talking about. But Stephen Boone runs Extreme Pro Stock in PDRA. Talking with him over there yesterday. Super guy, great team they've got. We know some of the guys on the that help them out and stuff, you know. And it was good to go over there and see them this weekend and see exactly how they do what they do.
Yeah.
But we were talking about that, and he was talking about Mitch and Alan and Quayne. These guys out here running 530s, 540s, you know, or whatever, they're in slow motion.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like everything happens in slow motion to them to what they've been used to over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean,
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, but that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so when something happens to them, it's
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
you know, so, yeah. I mean, but we've got some really, really good drivers, talented drivers out there, and to do what our guys do from the water box to the finish line is amazing.
Yep,
is amazing. I mean, you know, they're driving the car, they're pulling gears, they're having to hit the points.
Yeah, and then
you know,
you guys don't even have shift lights, right? Like
no,
that's
shift
what I'm saying. Like you don't have
no
shift lights. Like you don't have anything to help you in quotation marks. Like it is all in your butt and in your hands. You know what I mean? Like in your ears. I mean, it's just wild.
Can't have a brake pressure gauge to, you know, for for your line lock, you know.
Right.
So I mean, it's all, you know. I mean, Quayne did a great job on making these rules, you know, where it puts the driving back in the seat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Steven's new release. That's all he put up. Southeast Gassers, there's no rival.
Exactly.
Like it's you guys. Like I can't think of anybody else that's doing what you guys do. Not to the extent. I mean, there's some gasser classes, you know, things like that. But then there's no one that's holding it. I mean, you think about the appearances and stuff like that. And we talk about it every time that we're together now. Your tech class, like there's no one holding these rules this tight like you guys do.
No, and then. You know, just like going over there this weekend, it was great. You know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, don't write letters or post things about me here. But bracket racing's great, but it's just, you know, I mean, my family's done it for years, and I love it, and I love to be around them and everything. But as far as sitting in the stands and watching it, heads up first to finish line.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
every time.
You know, and just like over there yesterday, the Pro Nitrous, the Pro Charger, the Extreme Pro Stock, you know, Pro Street. I mean that it's good stuff.
Oh, of course,
I mean, and those guys have got to drive too or get out of it.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, I mean, where more than likely most of them, where some of our guys drive through, they got to get out of it.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, turbo comes in, something happens. You know, I mean, they got to get out of it. They got to abort.
Right.
Where our guys, you know, I mean, they're small tire. The 10.5 inch tire is probably what keeps us from being almost as fast as some of these guys.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
sure.
I mean, I'm not talking about the Pro Nitrous or the Pro Charger
right.
cars, but I'm talking about some of these other cars that's running, you know, high fours, mid to high fours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we had a bigger tire on some of these cars, they would be right there.
Yep. Yeah, that's very true.
Probably. But,
and I bet you while you're over there, again, not taking shots or anything, but I bet you didn't see a 57 Pontiac racing an Anglia. You know what I mean? Like, we talk about it all the time, just the diversity of cars and the spread and the combinations. It's, I hate to repeat it, but it is in the DNA of this series. Like, it's amazing what you can see when you go to a SEGA.
Exactly. And one thing that really surprised me was the Pro Nitrous and the Pro Charger cars. No Willis. The only
really?
One Willis.
Huh.
Blake Housley.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of our guys know Blake. Blake Housley there with an absolutely beautiful Willis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's state of the art. It's a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is just absolutely a beautiful car. Terry Housley's son, Blake. So Terry raced with us at one time. He hasn't raced with us in, I don't know, maybe one time in a couple of years. Got a beautiful 55 Chevy that Blake probably built called Mr. Quick.
Okay. Yep.
And it was a previous record holder car at one time.
Right.
And stuff there. But that was the only Willis there.
Wow.
In Pro Mod.
You know, I think I saw it maybe last year, and it might have been for this season. I'd have to go check to verify this, but I think even the NHRA Pro Mod class, I think they were giving them a weight break. If you run a 55 or older car, they were giving you a weight break to try and promote some diversity of cars, you know? Yeah. And again, don't quote me on that, but I read that at one point. I'd have to check and make sure that actually, you know, went through and everything. Yeah. But it's like, they see it, you know, they see this. They want the diversity of car back too, you know?
Yeah. Camaros, Mustangs, maybe some Firebirds.
Yeah.
The new body style Camaro, they've got them stretched and and the Mustang, they're stretched and rolled over and just sleek, looks like a bullet.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you know, and that's what they're doing. I mean, you know, it just and of course the Willis is nothing like the Willys that are in our group. You know,
it's sleek like a bullet too. I'm sure.
But still, it really surprised me that out of 30-something cars over there was only one Willis. Just one Willis. So it was good stuff, you know. But let's go into the tech report.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, at London Mooresville Tech Report, and this is from Sam Gable. Somebody jumped in here on top of me. Sent a text. Okay. London Mooresville Tech Report. London before rain out. 4 tech sticker inspections, 4 stickers received, 15 ride height checks, 4 fuel samples taken, all passed. London at Mooresville. All winter fuel checked, 6 ride height checks. All Mooresville winners, P and G, all passed. Mooresville Tech Report. 12 random ride height done. 3 compliance inspections done and 1 sticker awarded. 1 new car inspection completed. 4 random fuel checks. 3 winners fuel checks. 3 P&G completed on race winners. 1 served for both winners, and that would be Leslie for AG. 2 motor seal inspections completed. 3 motors sealed after P&G. 1 more motor bore scope for intake compliance, and I would say that's probably in super stock. No infraction noted. 1 race variance granted for fuel check valve for Jerry Birch. One racer was made to comply with fuel check rule before competing after multiple warnings. That was one they had told one driver that he needed his fuel check a couple of races ago and give him a 1 race, and then so it ended up didn't have it and then showed up again without it.
Gotcha.
And so they ended up having to put 1 on.
Understood.
So and the new car one new car inspection completed and got their sticker for a new car, and that was an absolutely beautiful Willys. I never got a chance other than to look at it in passing. Didn't get a chance to look at it close, but it is Scott Budisilich.
Okay.
I hope I said that
I'll
right.
let you handle that last name.
Well, I actually brought him up and let him say it at the driver's meeting when I was introducing the new driver. But great guy. I talked to him on the phone a few times. I hate that I didn't get a chance to get down there to talk to him. But it is a 41 Willys, orange 41 Willys with small block Ford in it.
Okay.
385 cubic inches, I think.
Okay.
Bennett Racing Engines out of Alabama. The car looked really good leaving the line. I mean, it looked really fast on the launch. And then it got a little sideways, had to get out of it. But I think he's going to be a contender.
Right.
I think they're going to do good. I'm going to try to give him a call and talk to him this week. But it's an absolutely beautiful car. It was, like I say, got the sticker first round.
Yeah.
So
that's
pretty good.
It took some time.
Sammy and John do a great job. You know, this inspection has turned out to be a really good thing. Everyone is just thrilled when they get theirs and stuff.
It was just such a good idea. It
was a really good idea. And also, kind of on a, I guess maybe right now, a volunteer basis, Jason Merle has been helping them.
Okay.
And he's doing a great job helping them. He's been running around like when you call people up and they don't hear it or whatever, you know, he'll run and get them on the way and things like that and stuff. So John and Sammy can continue to do their inspections and everything and not hinder their work.
Makes sense.
So right now it's just kind of a volunteer basis and everything, but glad to have him helping us out. Super guy. It seems like we got Georgia Tech team.
Yeah. Right.
But they're all good guys. I mean, I've really gotten to know Sammy and John over this year and just think the world of them. They're great guys. They're not only knowledgeable and do a really good job at what they do. They're good people.
Right.
They're just really good, honest people.
It makes a big difference.
And they. I mean, there was, in everything, I mean, in this atmosphere, tempers can flare.
Oh, yeah.
Had it this weekend a little bit. I was on the receiving end of some of that this weekend. And things happen. Things happen quick, especially up on the line.
Oh, absolutely.
And you have to try to keep a cool head and talk about it, and I mean, it's you there's a lot of times things happen and you can't get it stopped in time.
Right. Yeah.
So, everybody has to understand that we're all human and if you're 20, 30 feet away from the starting line and something needs to happen there, you can't get there before people leave.
Right.
So things happen, but I mean, we'll do whatever we can do to make it right in the end.
Right.
But I mean, a lot of people think that well, that should have been different or whatever. But put yourself in my shoes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's, yeah. I don't want your job.
or Quayne or whatever.
It's a lot easier sitting here at this table talking about it
over the years and stuff. And actually, Quayne was there this weekend, just on a crew chief basis. He's been helping Jaron some.
Okay.
And but after a couple of things, there was a couple of things happened this weekend, and I mean, I don't know if some of you know, but Quayne had offered this up to me to buy Southeast Gassers.
Right.
And it actually was a thought.
Yeah.
And but I just didn't feel it was the right thing to do with tearing out our age and everything and stuff. But after a couple things happened, I just leaned up over Quayne's shoulder and told him that I'm sure glad I didn't buy this. But, you know, I mean, I'm getting it anyway, so I guess what does it matter?
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, just like he says, you know, you got, you know, I mean, and he said that when I was working for him, you know. And I guess some people saying, well, he talks a lot about Quayne, but I mean, Quayne started this, you know.
Yeah,
and I worked for
exactly.
Quayne for 5 years, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, and Quayne kind of molded me into what we've done for these, you know, for his 10 years, you know.
And Quayne has raced for a very long time.
Yes,
He's seen a lot of different stuff. He's a good resource to lean into. You know,
I mean, you can't knock what Quayne has done. You know,
Nope.
I mean, he's caught a lot of flack over the years on different things and stuff, and I'm sure I will continue to do it too at this point. And but decisions have to be made, and they have to be made quickly. You know, sometimes up there on the line. You know, and you do what you can do, and you know, and
you learn from it.
And if you make a wrong one, you know, we'll try our best to make it right. You know, and you know, you got to keep a cool head over it. You know, and just go on and go forward, and you know, and see how it works out. But
that's all you can do.
You know, you still got to give Quayne credit for where this is at and where it's going, because without the roots that he started, it wouldn't be growing.
That's right. Exactly.
You know, so,
exactly.
And as you said earlier, you know, I mean, and it's growing in leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
Todd Oden was at Montgomery this past weekend, and he and Michael ran some 6.0 index stuff.
Oh, really?
Just basically, a friend of his was promoting a series down there, a Pro Mod series, actually is what it was. And he was blown away at the attention that their two cars got there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Said there was, you know, they had 30-something Pro Mods there, and a bunch of bracket cars, and a couple of jet cars. And he said, other than the jet cars, they got the most attention.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's great.
So, you know, Todd,
you guys, the series and your racers, I mean, you're doing all the right things. You know, you're putting yourself out there, and they're going to different places. And I know that Greg is going to different, you know, racetracks and stuff when you guys aren't racing and stuff. I mean, that's what it takes. You know, it takes from all levels, from fans all the way up to you guys.
You know, and just like we were talking a while ago, there's no rival. There's really nobody that does what we do.
No,
you know what I mean, as far as the rules and everything.
Nope.
There's gasser groups everywhere. Nothing wrong with those gasser groups.
No.
I'm glad they're out there.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm glad fans in the Midwest or the West Coast or wherever have got gassers to watch.
Of course.
But we're different.
It's different,
and stuff, and I'm pleased we are different.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and but we can't go everywhere.
No, unfortunately not.
And we're the Southeast Gassers.
Exactly.
That go to Ohio.
To go to Ohio.
And we'll be going to Ohio. They're already on the list. We'll be going back to Killcare. Ron Vance does great up there.
Good.
Stuff.
Good.
So
the next race up is Knoxville again, right? The second Knoxville race?
Knoxville is the 13th and 14th.
13th and 14th.
We're having a special deal over there, AFX shootout.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about what's that going to be?
Well, what it's going to be is we've got at least 5 AFX cars that's coming.
Okay.
We'll have the Dixie Twister.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have Alan Platt. We'll have Todd Wimberly. We'll have Sam Gable.
Mm-hmm.
My tech man's going to be racing.
That's good.
Over there.
Yeah.
In Moonshot. And also Joe Ferguson.
Okay.
I hope I've got that name right. He is the fellow that was in Bonneville Salt Flats.
Oh, yeah.
A few weeks ago.
Yeah, the one that run 300 miles an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be a little.
That's a massive congratulations. Cause that's people don't understand the feat that was. That's very, very hard.
Yeah. And he's got an absolutely beautiful little Nova AFX car.
Okay.
Kazi 427 in it. So I'm not sure. Gordon Rundle is building a Barracuda that I don't think it's going to make it, but Gordon builds some beautiful stuff. He's got the most beautiful B-gas Barracuda you've ever saw.
Right.
So he's meticulous, and that's probably why the car's not finished yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know anything about somebody that's really meticulous about stuff. Not at all.
But anyway, hopefully, you know, I mean, fingers crossed, he might get it ready and come race with us. But also, Robert Peffley's car is for sale.
Yeah, I was going to mention
And
that. Yep.
I mean, it's a fast car.
Yeah, it really is.
Fast car, ready to go. If anyone wants to buy one, you know, reach out to me and we can get you hooked up with Robert.
And I saw him make a comment that if it was going to stay in SEGA, that he was ready to work a deal.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah,
that's right. So
no, that's what a beautiful car.
Oh, it is.
I mean, man, what a nice car.
Fast car.
Yeah, it is.
Fast
yeah,
car.
it is.
You know, but John Rickard at I forgot the name of his transmission company. It's over in Tennessee. But John called me up and wanted to help us out, and we've been looking to do something with AFX.
Right.
So he put up some money. LWA, Lamar Walden, Rob Walden actually put up some money. So they're going to run for some money. First and second place will win money.
Cool.
And Stevens made an absolutely beautiful poster for it.
Yes, he has.
And Southeast Gassers gear, you can see the posters back here. He sells them at every race, $5. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to one of the races, you've got to have one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see behind us here, they make really nice additions to your shop on the wall.
They sure do.
They just fit.
Yeah, and the drivers will be more than glad to autograph them for you
for
and
sure.
Stuff there. And of course, he's always coming out with a new design. I'm sure there'll be one that says "No Rivals."
Yeah, I think I already saw the renderings of it he had put up. So yeah, I think that's coming.
But SoutheastGassersGear.com, you know. Summit, Molly, you know, I mean, we just Quick Time Performance, Mortgage Options. We just got so many great sponsors, you know.
G-Force, One Way.
Yeah, Ram Clutch. Yeah, it's just one after another. Excess Batteries, Power Batteries has come on board and helping us out a little bit. Larice Motorsports, Insurance, Moser. So, you know, just... glad to have all those. You know, it's hard to survive without them, especially with the rainouts and everything. If we didn't have those, it'd be hard to make it to the next race.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, we basically do all this with spectators. You know, you know, if you just ever want to become a member, SoutheastGassers.com, you can become a member, and that helps out also. You know, so. The Racers has $100 a year membership.
Okay. And I don't think I realized there was a membership.
Yeah, it's $100 a year membership, and that allows you to race all year.
Okay.
And then the gate fee.
Understood. Okay.
The gate fee. And talking to one of the racers over there this weekend that I know pretty good, he and one crew member to run Pro Nitrous was $1,000.
Whoa.
He and one crew member was
$1,000.
Wow. To run this weekend.
Just the weekend.
Just the weekend.
Eesh. Man, that hurts, doesn't it?
And it costs you more for every crew member.
Right, of course,
I mean, it's, you know, I mean, they got to pay the gate fee. It's $45 Saturday for us to get in. Of course, we were blessed enough that one of the teams gave us a ticket.
Right, right.
So it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But it's actually, we're not racing for a whole lot of money, but it don't cost us a whole lot of money to get there either.
Right.
You know, I mean, it costs a lot of money to get there, but it don't cost a whole lot of money to get through the gate.
Right. Right.
You know, so you pay that $100 and you're in for all year. There's no entry fee. So.
Wow. It's a good deal.
Good deal.
I think that's it.
I guess you're ready to go to Texas tomorrow.
Yeah, on to Texas. Yeah, first thing in the morning. So yeah, that's why we wanted to get this thing knocked out, and I'll try everything in my power to have it out in the morning. So we'll try and get this thing out and be ready to go. But we appreciate you coming in as always, Randy, and doing this with us. And we enjoy it. And like I said, we thank you to everybody that watches and has subscribed and follows along. And Randy lets me know whenever we get a little behind, he's getting some calls and texts and asking when we're doing them. And I'll tell you that makes you feel good whenever you're doing something and people are wanting to see it. You know, I really appreciate everybody that's done that. So I'll plug it a little, but definitely hit subscribe if you don't mind. And come back each time. We'll be back here after Knoxville. We'll talk about that one. Hopefully a little less rain in the forecast.
That'll be great.
Which will be really nice. And we'll catch up with you guys then. Yeah. Have fun.